Welcome to this episode of Time to Watch. Today, we're going to take a look at my very first Rolex purchase, the Rolex Deepsea Blue model number 126660, nicknamed the James Cameron. Like Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh before him on their expedition with the Bathyscaphe Trieste in 1960, James Cameron made a record dive to the Mariana Trench in 2012. At the helm of his submersible Deepsea Challenger, the filmmaker and explorer succeeded in reaching the extreme depth of 10,908 meters, 35,787 feet below the surface of the Pacific Ocean. Attached to the robotic manipulator arm of the submersible was an experimental diver's watch, the Rolex Deepsea Challenge. To celebrate this historic dive, Rolex presented a new version of the Rolex Deepsea in 2014, with a dial known as D Blue. With a subtle color gradient ranging from midnight blue to intense black, it evokes the Deepsea twilight zone, where the last light particles shining down from the surface disappear and darkness takes over. In tribute to the collaboration between Rolex and the adventurous filmmaker, the word Deepsea is written on the dial in a shade of green inspired by the color of James Cameron's submersible. Since 2008, the Oyster Perpetual Rolex Deepsea has continued the history of Rolex watches devised for deep-sea exploration. It is fitted with the ring-lock system and is waterproof to 3,900 meters, 12,800 feet, a depth at which no human can survive while scuba diving. In this way, Rolex pushes its own technical limits with a watch as durable as the submersibles that descend to the abyss. Its unidirectional rotatable bezel with a 60-minute graduated Cerachrome insert, chromalite display, and reinforced waterproofness make it the ideal companion for the heroic divers who defy extreme depths. The ring-lock system that equips the Rolex Deepsea, the patented architecture of its 44mm case, crafted in oyster steel, comprises a thick, slightly domed sapphire crystal, a compression ring made from nitrogen alloyed steel or blue high-technology ceramic, and a case back in titanium. The device allows the watch to withstand underwater pressure at depths of up to 3,900 meters, 12,800 feet, as required by the ISO standards for such timepieces. Rolex divers' watches are tested to a depth 25% greater than that shown on the dial. The Rolex Deepsea is, therefore, tested at 4,875 meters, 16,000 feet. In order to do this, during the final control tests carried out as part of the superlative chronometer certification, each model is subjected to the corresponding pressure in an exclusive hyperbaric tank developed by Rolex in conjunction with Comex, Compagnie Maritime d'Expertises. Now on to my initial impressions of this watch. The quality of this watch far exceeds any other watch I have owned. As with most first-time Rolex owners, I immediately went to turning the bezel. The action is so pleasing. Oh, the sound and the solid feel. It turns only when intended but isn't hard to turn. It's absolutely perfect. Everything about this watch is well thought out and with a purpose. The accuracy is better than any mechanical watch I currently own, running within -2 to +2 seconds per day. One thing that has been annoying is everyone asks, is it real? This made me think, are fakes really that common for people to instantly ask, is it real? After some research, it is actually scary how many clones are out there, and how freaking close they are to actual Rolexes. It is absolutely insane that in 2025, as watch collectors, we have to worry about some of the best fakes on the market looking almost indistinguishable from the real thing. And I'm not talking about the $50 junk you buy on vacation. I'm talking about super clones watches that cost thousands of dollars to make, and in some cases, they look and feel almost exactly like the genuine Rolex. These fakes have engraved rivets, ceramic bezels, chromalite style lume, and even cloned movements that mimic the winding feel. They're getting so good that even seasoned collectors who've owned dozens of Rolexes can get fooled. And here's the problem. Rolex doesn't give us an easy way to check. There's no serial number lookup, no online database. You can't just punch in your number and confirm, yes, this watch is real. Instead, you've got to either trust the seller or take the watch into an AD and hope Rolex service center will confirm it for you. And let me tell you, that process isn't quick or cheap. Think about that. You can spend $10,000 to $20,000 on a watch and still have this little doubt in the back of your mind. What if this is a really good fake? And that's the part that drives me crazy. As collectors, we should be worrying about condition, history, and provenance, not whether the dial has microscopic printing errors, or if the rotor sounds just a little too loud. So yeah, it's frustrating, it's exhausting, and it puts an unfair burden on watch lovers. At the end of the day, the best advice is buy from trusted sources, build relationships with dealers you can rely on, And if you have any doubt, go through Rolex themselves, because these fakes are not going away. They're only getting better, unfortunately. This hobby is supposed to be about passion, history, and engineering excellence, not paranoia. But until the fake market slows down, which it won't, we've got to stay sharp. And honestly, it shouldn't have to be this way. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content in the future.